In today's video, we're going to talk about YouTube, and Joomla. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too, and thanks for tuning in to watch me work live stream number 50 here on the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel. There was no stream last week. It was delayed because I was sick as a dog. And actually, when you have those really bad colds, and then there's one first day where you start to feel human again, that's today. So I am happy to be streaming live today and feeling a lot better. And so we're going to tackle this topic. It's a collab topic, so I'm hoping that we'll all collaborate together. I do a lot of stuff on YouTube, and actually that has helped me. Let me just adjust the camera there. That has helped me to actually pick up some clients as well to help them with their YouTube things. Frank Kern says that to be a consultant, all you need to do is know something that someone else doesn't know. Now, I mean, that does not, just because you know something that someone else doesn't know, doesn't mean that you should go into business and start providing it. For those of us that are working on our own websites, or maybe even doing websites for a business, as you pick up skills, that becomes something that you can offer other people. And so you might not even necessarily be helping people for years and years and years. Maybe you're just going to help them a little bit, and you can charge for your time, and that gives you more experience. So YouTube is so great. You know, YouTube is the second largest search engine. Google is the #1 search engine that's used, and then YouTube, the second number of searches, they take place on YouTube. So it's definitely something that you want to be aware of and a place you want to be. But also, there are tons of things that you can do to take advantage of for your own business and for your own use. And I've got two sides of a list here that we're going to talk about today. But like I said, this is a collab. So if you're watching live, please say hi in chat. In fact, let me bring chat up. Maybe somebody has already done that. There we go. Yeah, please say hi in chat. And then we will, and if you have any suggestions or ideas or things that how you used YouTube or what you've heard or questions, I could try to answer them. Put them in there and we'll get them all covered. Hello, Vinny. Thanks for typing in chat there. And everybody shoot this video a like and we'll see, excuse me, who gets watching. Now, I'm going to just bring chat up on the right there because it's not going to, I tell you, this is not consistent doing this. Try one more time. It looks, there we go. And then I'm just going to move, so I'll just move this over a little bit here so that we get things changed. All right. Hey, John, Valerie. Valerie, your internet dropped precisely at the 2-minute mark. No worries. So you missed the first 3 minutes. It's just been me talking about what we're going to talk about today, and that is YouTube. So obviously, I guess the first thing that I would say that YouTube is a good is powerful for is tutorials. And by tutorials, I would not, don't just hear that as in like the tutorials that I have uploaded to my site, or some of the stuff that we do on the live streams here when I'm just, I guess that's tutoring. But I think video is a great way to demonstrate to a lot of people, a lot of different kinds of people, how to do things. So you could even make, if you have a relative that lives far away and they don't know how to, add images to, add photos to a Gmail that they're sending, you can just do a quick tutorial on that and send it to them. You could post it up on YouTube, just give it a title, how to add pictures to Gmail, and you'll never know. That's an actual example of something that I did for, I think it was my mom, when I moved over to Gmail from, because she couldn't use Microsoft Live anymore for mail, that I made. I just threw it up on my channel, and I actually get some traffic to that. Now, as far as making money off of YouTube by having lots of traffic, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch time hours in the previous 365 days. So it's 1,000 subscribers and then watch time. And then you can apply to the YouTube Partner Program. And at the most, you make about $5 per 1,000 views of your videos when they're monetized. So If you're just putting videos up there for others, like relatives or stuff like that, you don't count on making money from it. But anyways, but YouTube is there. It's great free storage. When you think about it, the ability to make a video and upload it for free and store it is just really is mind-boggling. As much as people complain about YouTube sometimes, who are uploading videos to it, I think it's really wonderful. It's like a comedian said about he was on a plane and someone sat down in the seat next to him while they were flying. The internet didn't work, and they said, figures. He said, that person had lost the wonder of flying. They were in this metal tube flying at like 600 miles an hour. 600 miles an hour? Maybe 4? Who knows what they were flying at. Anyways, above the earth. And this guy's complaining about not having internet. So as much as imperfect as YouTube is sometimes for creators, it really is great. And it's a tool there for everybody to use. Excuse me. Though, think of it for tutorials. Another thing that you might think of, for those of you that have, so on your websites, whether you're, I think a lot of these apply to whether you're working for clients or you're just working on your own site, is an FAQ, frequently asked questions area. If you have people that are asking questions over and over again, or have questions about, I think about Chuck and his theater site, for instance, what's the refund policy on tickets? Well, you can type that out. But why not, another thing that you can do is, on your FAQ pages, you could make just a little video. It doesn't have to be super fancy. Do have good sound, because people will forgive you for poor video, but they won't forgive you for poor sound. But you could just have a little video there where a person is just explaining, here's our refund policy on tickets. Or here is where to go to get your password reset, logging into your web hosting. Or here's directions to the church picnic on Sunday. We hope that you join us. Just little things like that can really make a personal touch on a website. Sure, you can type out the words, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit later. But I just think that little things like that are really just add a nice touch to a website. And they're free on YouTube. Now, if you don't want that stuff public on YouTube, you can still upload it and leave it as unlisted. And then that way, the only people that can find it are the people that you give the link to. And of course, with YouTube, like anything else, the rule of the internet, if you don't want it online, don't put it online. But there's tons of stuff that we can put on there. You could for video greetings to your friends and families, you could put together a little thing, or just come on and say hi. I mean, it's really, if you can record a video quickly to Facebook and just put something up, a quick little snippet like that, you can upload the very same thing to YouTube, no problem. Send the links to people that aren't on your Facebook. Just have them there, embed them on a web page that you send people to. It really is a cool, fun thing, and there's lots of uses from it, right up from those very basic personal ones, right up to whatever's helping in your business and helping explain people. So I also had video quotes. Yeah, I couldn't remember what video quotes was. I also, especially with clients that are not local, because I think it's good to meet personally with people that you're quoting on for work. I put together a video quote for people. I will get all the information together. I'll actually send it to them, but then I'll also, with that, I'll send a video, and I'll sit very much like I am now, and I'll do some screen capturing, but I will just talk and explain what's involved in the quote and the different things that different things that I am proposing and giving them the information for. Let me check my screen here. Here we go. So I think that is a really good use of YouTube as well. And again, you can just upload those video quotes make them unlisted on your YouTube channel. Unlisted videos don't count towards watch time, by the way, if that's something that you are concerned about. I'm just going to change the screen down here. But anyways, that's so YouTube is there, and those are sort of probably some of the obvious uses for YouTube, and that's great. Now, I want to here's something I would like. First, so YouTube is the forgotten social media platform. Part of the reason that it's a forgotten social media platform is because it's really terrible typing to people, sending messages to them. It's nothing like Facebook. It's nothing like Twitter. There really is no direct messaging in YouTube. You can go to YouTube and find some social media stuff, but you also can, you can leave comments on videos, but it's super awkward for communicating. So in that sense, it's not social in the sense of free play back and forth, but it is very social in talking about topics. I don't get too much conversation going on, although Laura, by far, thank you very much, is our most proficient commenter on the Basic Joomla Tutorials channel, and that's great. But it is very powerful for social interaction about the topic of a video. And so if you get some discussion going and someone comments on something and then someone replies, you can have conversation going there, and that's good. But don't rule it out as something that you want to use for engaging people that are out there, because it is a social media platform, as well as sort of, I guess people view it as a television platform. Television in the sense of sitting there and watching. But what I would also encourage everybody to view YouTube as a content machine. And here's why I say that. When you make a YouTube video and you have it finished in your final edited form, so you've edited it and you've uploaded it, or you have done a live stream and you've done the editing that you want, you now have a base of content that you can use in a lot of other ways. There's a website called Revcom, just for fun, so we have a screenshot change here. Let's just go over to that. And let's see, don't forget to, if you're watching this, you're new to the channel, head on over to basicjoomla.com/giveaways, and we will and enter the newsletter. You'll be entered in the monthly giveaway, which I haven't chosen yet, but hey, I'm breathing today, so that's good. Rev.com is a service where you can get your YouTube video or other videos captioned for $1 per minute. You cannot correct YouTube's automatic captioning on your I wonder if they have an affiliate program or something down here. I should probably join it before I promote it. Anyways, Rev.com, it's as easy as that to remember. And basically, you can put you can pay them $1 a minute to transcribe or do closed captioning for your videos, for your YouTube videos. Now, I don't do that for my live streams because they are so long. So a 2-hour live stream would cost me $120 American. And a lot of that stuff, although I would like the captioning for the first couple of minutes, us hanging out and stuff like that, I'm not going to pay $100 to have that transcribed. But let me tell you that when you upload a video to YouTube, it will guess at what you've said and come up with a set of closed captioning. And you can go through and you can watch the video again. You can type in manually corrections. So for instance, it doesn't always hear Joomla properly and it will misspell it or certain words. But Rev.com, it actually is a human being who's watching your video and typing as they go, or reading, and is getting very proficient at making those corrections. You can, and it costs $1 US per minute. I'll tell you. So that's $60 an hour. But I tell you, you could not do what they do in 5 minutes in a 5-minute period. You'd have to get super good at it. I mean, I guess with practice you could be an excellent typer now. But so let's say that you have a tutorial. Let's say a tutorial or a video that you've made. It's 6 minutes long, and you go to Rev.com and you ask them, you get them to do the captions for 6 minutes for $6. Now you have closed captioning on your video. Why is that important? Well, first of all, a lot of people watch YouTube with the sound turned off. They'll be watching at work, or they're watching in a room where people are doing other things and they don't want to interrupt them. And so some people do read along to certain content types on YouTube. The other thing is that Google as a search engine and YouTube as a search engine, they look through the closed captioning and the words that are in a video, and they use that for coming up with relevant search, or putting you in relevant search results. So now by having transcriptions in your videos, what you are saying, actually you're speaking that content right into this the search engine, as it were, and you have a chance that your video is going to come up when people make results, when people make searches. And we're going to talk about some of the things that can come out of that later on. So you have a transcript, and you are there. It helps you in your search engine results, search engine optimization. Also, once you have the transcript for your video, you now have the closed captioning. You now have you have the text of your video, and you can put that on a web page on your site. And then, what I recommend doing too is that early on at the top of that page, you also include your YouTube video. Now you've right away have doubled the number of places that your content is available online. You have your video that is on there's your video that is on YouTube, and now there's also the page on your website that has all of the words that you've just spoken. And if you've got your page registered and set up right with Google to be found, to spider it, now all of that content becomes searchable as well. And so you have now, instead of just typing out content by making a video, you've got the video and you have the content basically typed out. And that's an extra way that you have that's extra content, an extra way to be found in search engine optimization. Now in Joomla, when you I don't know which episode this was. I don't know if it was Watch Me Work or Maintenance Monday, but in Joomla, once you add a page to your website, if you flag it for front page to be featured, you now have a page that has that content in the front. So you've got a second instance on your site. If you use Joomla tags, then you can tag that content under a certain topic, and now you have it in a third place. And I think I demonstrated how sometimes in search results on my site, on my basic Joomla site, my videos will come up 3 or 4 times in the results because I have them on 3 or 4 different legitimate pages. I'm not trying to trick the search engine. I just have it available in different spots on my site, and the search engine and Google searches it, and they're not worried. They don't see that as an attempt to trick them, and Google's getting better at finding out where the original content belongs anyways. So yeah, I think that's really wonderful. When we understand that content is king, small k, content is king for bringing traffic to our sites through search engines and having good content, this is a great way to go. Now, once you have that content for your page, let me see what my scribbles say here, and you've embedded that video, you could also, if it was a tutorial kind of video, you could also at certain points just do screen captures, screen snippets, and so people can read along in how to do what you're showing them to do, and you can have a screenshot. That's what I want to say. A screenshot. And so not only would you have the video, but for people that don't want to watch videos, because there's some out there, you then can have the information that they can read down, and they can use screenshots to follow along what you're showing them. By having a video, you also have a source that you can use for making excerpts and for posting little bits of your video on social media or as teasers in a newsletter. Although video you wouldn't attach to a newsletter, just ignore that. But you have a video you can use in social media. You also have the text that you can use in social media. You could take a snip paragraph and just say from today's video and put the information, and click here to watch the whole thing or read the whole thing. You send them to your website. Also, closed captioning. Your closed captioning file that you can download from Revcom or from YouTube for that matter, if you're just using YouTube's closed captioning. you can actually upload that closed captioning to go with the videos that you upload to social media or maybe to other platforms. Now, one thing I would recommend about when you do a new video on YouTube, don't add it to your website for the first 48 hours, because YouTube likes watches that come right on the platform itself. If someone's watching a video on your website and it's over and it's done, then they move on. That's okay, and that's good. That's totally legit. But if they watch your video on YouTube and end up watching something else, YouTube notices that, and they will start to recommend perhaps your video for people to watch or to do things, and then that will give your video a boost. So wait 48 hours before you put your video, which works out well because Revcom takes 24 hours. So if you are going to use closed captioning, then no problem. You'll have it ready for when you go to add it to your site. But so there you go. You have all of that stuff for that you can use just because you had one video that was finished. Now at this point, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is a lot of people don't like how they appear on video. And a lot of people get nervous and anxious about it, and also they think they can't do things as perfectly as they would like. I have spoken to large crowds of people many times in my life. I've spoken to lots of small crowds of people many times in my life. And when I started doing these live streams, I was starting to get lightheaded because I was getting nervous. I was not breathing properly. And I kind of chuckled, and I found it very interesting that to go live when 4 or 5 people are watching, or like right now, how many people are watching right now? It says right now 6. Oftentimes it's more than that than is actually showing. But I think the most I've had on in a live stream is 10. Doing video of yourself is a lot different than just standing up and introducing someone or giving a 5-minute talk at the Chamber of Commerce or a half-hour talk somewhere else. So when it comes to video, and we're talking about making video and all the benefits of it, I realize that it's not everyone's cup of tea, and you do need to just do it. The best way to relax is to just do it more often. If you wait until you're experienced before you do something, you'll never do it. And so if it's a little bit awkward, no problem. Watch your videos. Notice what you're doing. Notice if there's you're not looking into the camera, or notice that if you just you're making gestures and only one, but you just do this all the time, making gestures. And I have to change that, and it's just going to it'll develop good things in your life. All right, so don't be afraid to overcome that. I probably should mention that at the beginning, because now I'm just preaching to the converted. But all right. Another great use for YouTube is interviews with clients or interviews with customers or other people. Now, this is something that I do here on my channel when I started doing, quite by mistake. When I started doing Watch Me Work live streams, I didn't really think that I would start interviewing people. Although maybe it was an idea I had at the beginning. I know that Sarah Kratz from Joomla Pixel Labs or something like that over in Europe. I forget where she is. She has started interviewing people at the same time. So I thought, well, I'm just going to look like a copycat if I go through with that plan. But eventually we had people onto the live stream who were showing their extensions or talking about things, and that's been really good. Vinny says in chat that excuse me, that he had to learn the same thing when he first worked in radio, and now he has no problem listening to his own voice. Yeah, I hear you, Vinny. Video, our own recording, all sorts of things. Just do it, and you will get used to it. The other 2 Sundays ago, I was 2 Sundays ago I was preaching. The pastor of our church was away, and he asked me to fill in for him, so I was preaching, and there was a moment during my sermon when I just kind of was making a side, telling a funny story to the congregation as they listened. later on, some people came up and said, "Oh, you're very relaxed to listen to. You were very relaxed up there." Excuse me. And I realized that something that twigged when they said that was that at that point when I was preaching and I was just talking to everyone, it actually felt more like live streaming at that point than preaching. Now, I've done stand-up comedy for fundraisers. I have, I used to pastor local churches, so I've preached over 1,000 times, just in the one church where it was for 21 years. And so it wasn't that suddenly, because I had live streamed, things were more relaxed for me speaking to people. But I just noticed that had added a new dimension, that this being relaxed and be able to just talk and present something, share something with people, had really had changed me a little bit, and had tweaked my method or my natural way of just talking to people. Because a lot of times on a live stream, I enjoy our little community that we have here of friends that gather regularly. But I also realize that at some point down the road, somebody else is going to tune in and listen to this. And so I've actually live streamed when there was nobody on yet and kept talking because I knew eventually they were going to listen. So yeah, that's so talking in radio, podcasting, YouTubing, anything, stuff like that. You'll just get used to it, and then it becomes a skill, and it'll flow over into other parts of your life. Now, I was talking about interviews with clients and interviews, so I've done some of that on the live stream. Here is something that you can offer for those of you that are doing web pages for others, or maybe you have a project that gives links to places in the community. Again, maybe you're doing a website for your business or a business, and you could interview people and put that on the site. So again, I'll just use the example of Chuck's site with the theater. When you have a theater production coming and there's a play going on, why not do a couple of video quick interviews with the people who are starring in the play? Now, that's probably really fun as well if it's a smaller theater and it's not something that where the stars are super famous and it'd be very hard to get an interview with them. That just becomes all part of the fun of the whole movement of everything. And so by having a little interview with people and putting up a video, that's some content that draws people in. Also, if you are making videos for clients of your business, so you're not necessarily even have to be a business you're building websites for, but if you have a business and you have 14 suppliers that bring in different items, why not types of items? Why not interview them, and then have that interview or blurb or whatever put on your website? So you could say, here at the Party Factory, we only use the best balloons, and our supplier is Acme Balloon Company, and today we've got Tim Davis, the owner of Acme Balloon Company. You've seen that crazy big building with the big balloon on top of it downtown. Tim, how long has your business been in business? Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, go on with the interview like that. And now create a page on your website, on your company's website, that shows that and also gives a link to that company where those people could get balloons for theirs. Now, maybe you don't want to send your business away. I mean, you have to follow your business model. But maybe Acme Balloons doesn't sell to the public. They're just a wholesaler. But my point is that you're giving great benefit to that client because you're giving them a good, solid link to their business on your website. And you can sell that. You can say, hey, if you do business with us, not only would we do such and such and such and such, but we'll create a page for you on our website recommending you, and that's going to help your the search engine results, your search engine optimization, the cross-linking for your website, and is going to be of benefit. You can't, it's actually, Google doesn't even want you paying for those things, but certainly that's something that you can offer for a website Valerie says, we've all noticed the preponderance of under 30-year-olds on the YouTube platform. or under 35 if you're exaggerating. How big an ism do you think age is? Well, myself being 29, I think I'll be able to speak to that. I'm not 29. That's a good question, Valerie. Let me. Quality links for clients or for customers or for people that you're doing business with. That's another possible use. Excuse me. Excuse me. Still working on breathing clearly here. Yeah. All right. So Tim is 29. Fake news. That's right. Tim is. How old is Tim? In November, Tim will be. Doing math in my head. I will be 27 for the second time. I think, Valerie, that there is a bit of ageism on YouTube as far as how YouTube promotes the platform. But I don't think that it's limiting for us who are not under 30 to go on. So when YouTube, for instance, every year YouTube does a year in review, and then they post, last year's video had all kinds of YouTube stars in it. I probably knew, like, if there were 100, I knew 2 of them, it seemed. And excuse me, I'm going to take a quick break to go blow my nose, and I know you don't want to hear that, so I'll be right back. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Yes, Vinny, I share a birthday with one of Vinny's best friends. So YouTube, when they had their year-long look back, everyone that they were thrilled when they were promoting were a lot younger. There weren't, I was not seen on that. But having said that, when it comes to promoting videos, they are not necessarily, I don't think they look at age. Age might be one small thing, the age, but they otherwise, it is based on your content, it is based on your tags, it is based on are people, how long they watch your content. Do they watch other things after your content? Or if YouTube puts up the thumbnail for your video as a recommended thing, do people click on it? So even though, yes, there is sort of an ageism, and it makes sense really when you think about it, because YouTube is pretty new. I mean, it's not just young people who own it, but it is young people running it, younger people. So of course you're going to focus on, just as if there's all old people would just focus on old people stuff. But I don't think it has an impact on your video being viewed. I certainly don't. I don't feel as a 53-year-old oppressed in any way, because why do I upload this? Because they're not giving me any favor because I'm old. It really does come down to content, and content is ageless. Presentation is not. Although there's certainly some content that older people wouldn't do, and some content that younger people wouldn't do. So, but that's a good question, because that is out there. Hopefully, at 53, I'm okay being somewhere where I don't fit in, or I just remember, and this is nothing personal against anyone who's maybe in this age frame, but this is just how life proceeds. I remember being 25 and feeling like the world was my oyster and I had control over it. And now I realize that that wasn't true at that time. It's certainly not true now because I don't have the natural energy to carry on like that. And also my values and what I think is important has changed. So I don't get so excited about so many things as well. Yes, Vinny, you are right. Older people wouldn't eat Tide Pods. That's a good point. Yeah, they wouldn't eat Tide Pods. So that's what, yeah. Valerie says you might be familiar with 15-ish of those 100. The often hyperactive, moronic, sorry, your opinion, energy is not your speed. And you say that I'm a huge breath of fresh air. Well, here, hooray for old people on the internet, Tim. Thanks, Valerie. Some of my favorite channels to watch on YouTube are Hydraulic Press channel, where they just crush things. I probably like some moronic stuff on there, but there's a bunch of stuff that I would not do. But you know what? Those are young people, and someday they're going to be older, and they're just going to be saying to younger people, "Oh, when I was your age, I all thought this was such and such, and now it's all different," and they'll sound old too. So those of us who are aging know what it's like to want to say stuff to the younger people and realize, oh no, we've reached that stage. They're not going to listen. But thank you for your kind words, Valerie. Okay, interviews with clients. Yes, networking with their clients. Oh, okay. So this goes back to another perk of when you interview clients or other businesses in your area or suppliers or something like that, and put that on your page. That's going to be something that your client or whoever you want to interview shares with others. And that is going to lead to opportunities for you to interact with those people. That's networking. So, for instance, when Naveen from Joomla contacted me and asked if I would show Asteroid Framework on a live stream from Joomla, and I said, "Oh, sure, that's great," because I was super excited because I want to interview people. I want to build up the channel in that way. And also, it was one less topic I had to come up with for Watch Me Work live stream. So I got connected with Chayton, who I didn't even know was the owner at that time, and he came on and showed that video and gave us that 2-hour tour. First of all, that has been watched over 9,000 minutes. Come on now. 9,000 divided by 60 equals, that's 150. 150 hours that has been watched on my channel. And so just think of it not only from people watching, but they've promoted that video. So that was a real advantage to me. It's not only helping me with my watch time goals. I'm not up to 4,000 hours in the last 365, but I've picked up a number of subscribers from that interview. And also out of it came a really, really wonderful friendship. I talk to Chayton just about every day. We talk about Joomla stuff. In fact, there he is just calling me right now on Skype. I don't know if you can even hear that. I bet you can. I'll hang up on him. So that worked out really well. So that really turned into a networking opportunity. Oh, sorry that's loud, everybody. I had my speaker off, so I didn't even know that it was ringing. I hadn't turned my speaker on yet. Anyway, so if you interview clients or suppliers or customers or whatever and put it on your website, they're going to share it with their friends and family and clients and customers. Or maybe it's going to be found in search engines. Maybe it's going to come up in a search result. Who knows? And that is just giving your organization. Oh, there's Chayton there. Is that Chayton? Were you trying to call in? Because we can fire up Zoom if you want to do that at the end. Anyways, so it's great for networking. Now, the other thing I'm going to say about YouTube is that the more you use YouTube, the more you potentially expand a service that you want to that you can offer to others, right? So remember talking about Frank Kern, who said, when I quoted him earlier, in order to be a consultant, you just need to know something that someone else doesn't know. As you gain experience in YouTube, you might be talking to someone and say, oh yes, I just uploaded a video to my YouTube channel where I was interviewing one of my customers who has this really interesting business, and it was really cool and it was really fun to do. And then someone says, oh yeah, YouTube's just done this cat videos. And you say, well, actually, YouTube has a number of uses that could help you in your business probably. And the person said, well, what do you think? Well, pitch them an idea. And if they're for it, if they think, oh, you start to open up their minds, then they will, that could turn into a job for you or some work for you. An example of this would be, I was at Chamber of Commerce yesterday, coffee talk. I was still feeling pretty low yesterday, but I wanted to go and make a connection at the Chamber. It's a nice time. Anyway, so we go around, we do our little elevator pitches to everyone. And a woman from a credit union that's here on our island, I don't know how many branches they have, she says, I want to do YouTube to promote our credit union. And we started talking about it. And she asked me she said, would you be willing to come with me to my head office in Nanaimo, which is about 2 hours north of here, and talk to them about this? And I said, sure, of course. Just because I do stuff on YouTube and I've done a lot and talk about it now and have that skill set growing, I was able to talk to her and make suggestions, and now it could turn out into a job for me, totally unrelated to Joomla, totally unrelated to web design or hosting or anything like that. And now it might be helping, it may turn out into a job to do consulting and to teach them or train them or come up with ideas for a YouTube channel. And I just think for those of us that are self-employed, or those of us that are looking for a side hustle or some money on the side, if the more familiar you become with YouTube, the more you're going to be able to offer a little help with something. It may very well even be someone say, yeah, I'd like to do YouTube. I don't even know how to set up a channel though. You can say, hey, well, why don't I help you set up a channel, and we'll do the header art for it and find the name, and we'll do just a couple things. It'll take a couple of hours. You quote them the price and say, I could get you going for this much. That person might just say, hey, that sounds great, and go for it. Vinny says, going to the office to talk about it is consulting. Did I charge? I have not gone yet. And Valerie agrees. No, all I did was talk yesterday morning at the coffee shop after our little go around. So I am going to follow up with that. Yes, to travel 2 hours to go up and talk to them would be for free would be crazy. Yeah. So, and that is consulting. So I was thinking that, and I was realizing that. The other thing too is trying to set up. She was talking about how the team or the executive or whoever the leaders are were probably not even thinking about it, would not be interested. And I said to her, well, why not get some money for a trial instead of trying to win them over and convert them all at once. Do a couple of test videos. So in that mindset, I was thinking like, yeah, instead of going up with a big pitch and getting a no, why not we go for a trial, get some money happening. And but yes, I do want to. I realize that is consulting, and that's something that I want to make clear to them as well. Yeah. So I wrote down here: experience is knowledge. Whatever you're doing, whether it's YouTube or whatever you're doing on your website, or whatever you're doing, as you gain experience in it, you have the knowledge of how to do it, and it may very well be knowledge that someone else wants to pay for in order to do it themselves or to get you to do it themselves. Now you really have to be wise. For instance, somewhere on my wall behind the camera here, I noticed outside I have a crack in my wall going down below grade, and I thought, oh boy, okay, so that needs to be dug up. And I think grade it's only going to be digging down 2 feet. My basement is only 2 feet below grade. The rest is above. Now, if I go and dig that up, and try to fix that myself, I'm probably going to go on YouTube and say how to fix a crack in a basement wall. And I'll watch and I'll see how to do it. I'll go pick up the materials. And so I'll dig down, I'll fill the crack with whatever, I'll put whatever around needs to be, refill it with whatever, do it properly. Now, I've gotten that free knowledge. I will have that free knowledge off of YouTube. I will have experience having done it. That does not necessarily mean that I should now hang a shingle saying, hey, I fix leaky basements. But you never know that if someone says, I run into someone and they say, oh, their basement's leaking, they found a crack down their wall, I might say, hey, I have done that myself. I could look into whatever, blah, 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 blah. Would you be interested? Now, that's just another example of experience as knowledge. I'm not even going to dig that hole, I don't think, the way that I feel right now. I think I'm going to get my son-in-law to do it in his company. But experience is knowledge, and wisdom is knowing when to do something or not, I guess is a good way to put things. The last thing that I have written down here is about why to use YouTube in ways in your business is this. And I wrote down mystery leads and opportunities. Mystery leads and opportunities. And by this I mean, let's just change this here a little bit. By this I mean, when you have your stuff on YouTube, you don't know what will happen. When you do a video interviewing someone, you don't know what will happen. And but just having it out there is something. I have a lot of videos that are not, don't have a lot of views, and some have a bunch. I have another channel called CyberSalt Computer Tutorials. It just reached 1,000 subscribers. I have like 16 videos on it in all. I've added 2 videos since I think it was like March of 2017. But there's a couple of videos on there that really get watched. One is no sound on YouTube videos. I kept having this problem, and I thought lots of other people probably have it. I made a tutorial on it. It's been watched like 150,000 times. I just put it out there. I've actually I also did a video on that channel on Let's Encrypt free SSL certificates. And I've actually gotten a couple of hosting clients who watched that and just didn't want to deal with the hassle of setting up an SSL certificate with their host. And they said, if I host with you, can I have one of these certificates? And I said, yes. I wasn't planning on that. It's just content that's out there. And so I think however you use YouTube, whether it's the interviews, whether it's tutorials, whether it's whatever, by having that there and embedded on your sites in different ways, you just don't know what will come from it. And that's okay. In business and in life, we want to be intentional. We want to have a plan. We want to target things. We want to be working towards something. However, I like a little mystery in life as well. A little mystery in business. That might explain my bottom line right now. But I think we can use a percentage of our time and do some stuff on spec or fantasy or whim, or just try things and see what happens. In doing so, you end up with new skills, but also in doing so, you end up with new skills. But also in doing so, you leave some stuff out there. If someone comes across a video or sees something, even going back to my balloon example, maybe someone sees your interview with the balloon supplier for the company and says, oh, you know what, I would like a couple of videos done here on my site. I'm going to contact that person and see if they'll do it or what they recommend. You just have no idea. And so I think, mystery leads and opportunities. Just once you, the nice thing too is this, is that all these things that I've suggested, they do have a purpose. They do have something that you're trying. And so once you've accomplished them, they still are there with the potential to do something mysterious and wonderful. And who knows what will come from that. Because, I've ended up doing a lot of YouTube work, editing work, audio work for that's come out of some of the video stuff that I've done, and just playing around with YouTube and knowing how it works in order to offer to other people. So I guess when it comes to you, YouTube, and Joomla, be open, be adventurous, be experimental with some of the things you try. Don't be too hard on yourself on how things look, and yeah, be open to encouragement or criticism that other people give you, suggestions. I had someone comment on one of my live streams. Which one was on it? Oh, how to turn on two-factor authentication. It must have been Maintenance Monday. And his comment was, I stopped watching and you took too long to get to it. And I thought, I appreciate that. And I replied and I said, yeah, I realize that the live streams are a little drawn out. They're difficult to edit in the editor in YouTube, although that's getting better. And so with those live streams, it's just best, pause is great watching videos when you're trying to learn something, and skipping ahead past long-winded people or long-winded spots. That's something that's handy as well. So that was good feedback. And that feedback added to something I've been thinking about doing, which was revisiting all the Maintenance Mondays topics, but only doing not doing proper, but doing edited and then uploaded very concise looks at the topics, so people want to see them can just quickly go through. The nice thing about YouTube is that if I have long live stream recordings on a topic and then also short videos about the same topic, if those short videos become more popular, YouTube will show them ahead of my longer ones, and it's a win-win situation for me. So so be open to criticism and suggestions. And Tom is someone else too here on the channel who has sent me suggestions from time to time. I know he's not a big fan of my thumbnails. Excuse me. They don't have Joomla on them, and sometimes they don't always look like they relate to Joomla. And I think his suggestions and his ideas are very good, and his comments are very valid. One of the most important things in YouTube is your thumbnail. And so I have opted for a fast method to do them, as opposed to being super artistic and working on each one. You'll notice even today, because this was a topic that was planned but I wasn't set up for it, I just did a quick thumbnail. I'll do a proper Watch Me Work live stream thumbnail before this goes public, but the recording. But I don't think that chat window there is it? The chat window does not look like it's the chat that's happening here today. Anyways, shiny thing distracted me. Anyways, be open to criticism and make changes where you can if it works. All right. Shall I go on to Zoom? Let me fire up Zoom and see if anyone wants to call and say hi. And oh yeah, all my icons got moved around here. Where is Zoom? Is that it there? There we go. We'll open her up here. Upcoming start. Copy. All right. Now, if you want to come on Zoom, let me start this call here. Come on here. If you have any other ideas or suggestions or comments about YouTube and Joomla, put them in chat right now. And of course, anything else that's going on. There we go. Go ahead and paste about it in chat, and we'll just hang out for a little bit. Oh my goodness, so nice to be feeling a bit better. Although, as you can tell, nose is still just a little stuffed up. All right, is someone in here? Just one right now. Let's see. All right. Oh, it shows that I am talking. That's right. I have the camera on my boom, down in front of the screen here. Hey everybody, Joomla 3.9.12 is out as of yesterday. I saw that came out, and Vinny told us on, and Mary, I don't know if Mary's watching today. Mary, remember on Monday she shared the fix for the breadcrumbs issue that's been happening in Google Search Console. Excuse me. And she shared it, a link to it, but we will see what happens. I have many other things to catch up on, like picking a winner for this month's draw. I really did not need to lose a week of work from being sick, but there you go. That happens. All right, everybody. Our viewership has plummeted according to the stats here. No one's saying anything in chat, so I think that's a good time to wrap it up. In summary and in conclusion, yep, no, Vinny's still there. It shows there's only 2 on right now, but I think YouTube doesn't always show everything. Oh, no, it might just be Valerie. Okay, maybe there's lots there. Anyways, in summary and in conclusion, don't let awkwardness or self-consciousness keep you from doing something on YouTube or making a video or audio or something like that. Go for it. Give it a try. Have some fun. Figure it out. If you've got any questions, ask them here in chat. Let me know. Maybe I'll do some video tutorials if it's something. Although there's plenty, listen, there's plenty of people out there that are doing tutorials on how to do stuff on YouTube. One of the things that I think, and I think I've mentioned this before, and I want everyone to listen very carefully because I'm not being insensitive. There is, I think, sometimes when shifts happen in the economy and workers need to be retrained, I think there's a move quite often to make them truck drivers. And there is a shortage of truck drivers in North America. I think for some they think, oh, well, if you need to learn a job, driving a truck is easy. And driving a truck is not easy. My son drives a transport truck. He drives a fuel truck with a B train, so one of those long trailers and then the short pup trailer behind it full of fuel. He works really hard. It's very dangerous. And he's really good at it. So I'm not saying that just because, I'm not saying lots of people become truck drivers because it's easy. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is a lot of people think that truck driving is easy, and so they get funneled or decide that that's just something that they will do. I have noticed similarly on YouTube, especially in some of the YouTube groups that I'm in, that some people wonder what could they do on YouTube to make a lot of money and to become famous or whatever, and they think, oh, I know what I'll do is I'll teach people how to do YouTube. And it's, yes, that is needed. It would be hard to do because anything you do on YouTube is hard. So that's bonus point. If you're gonna do something on YouTube, let it be something that you're passionate about, because it does take a lot of, there's times where it's just like, oh, I don't want to do this, or this is not necessarily fun. But if you're passionate about the topic, you'll make it through. But there's a lot of people that think, oh, well, I want to become a YouTube star. What can I do? They don't know what they can do. And so they just start doing stuff on how to use YouTube. They figure they'll get a following, like some of the people that they admire. What I would say is just be yourself. Do something that you're really interested in, or that's natural, or that fits with your business, and just relax. And the reality is, just like in grade school, if people like you, they'll watch you. Well, not that they watch you in grade school, but if people like you, they'll click with you, and if they don't, they won't. And not everybody had a great grade school experience. I was bullied in grade school at times. I also bullied at times in grade school. That's just childhood, right? Or it used to be. That's what childhood used to be. And I think it's good now, a lot of the emphasis against bullying, but it's still happening, right? Anyways, my point is this: YouTube, just do what you do. Be yourself And then at least you'll have that stress removed from trying to be something else and see what comes from it. All right, deep breath, catch my breath. And so I think that'll be it. I think we'll wrap it up there. And I will continue to feel better today. I hope you guys are all feeling well, that you don't get this cold, although there's lots of people getting it everywhere. And then we will regather at some point, Maintenance Monday, unless you happen to be on when I'm doing my live stream for updating Joomla, but you guys don't need that. You know how to do it. Anyways, so until the next time, everybody, thanks for hanging out today. 2 days in a row I've been sitting in the chair. That's actually kind of comfortable. I might do that, although I'll try to stay standing to be in shape. I'm not in shape now. Anyways, till the next time, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.